Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something that literally touches the lives of absolutely everyone, no matter where you happen to live: government bureaucracy. Specifically, we're going to look at a pretty fascinating tool that's designed to hold these massive public organizations accountable. We're demystifying the citizen charter. So if you've ever wondered how we can structurally force better service, transparency, and, basic respect from government agencies, you are definitely in the right place. Let's get right into it.
Okay, I want you to picture a scenario. Have you ever felt just completely ignored, endlessly delayed, or shuffled from desk to desk when you're just trying to get a simple document from a government office? We've all been there, right? It's this universal frustration. You pay your taxes, you play by the rules, but when you actually need a service, you're met with this wall of opacity and a total lack of urgency. You've probably thought to yourself, doesn't anyone monitor this? Shouldn't my time actually be valued? Well, conceptually anyway, there is a structural answer to this exact problem.
Section 1. A promise to citizens.
Now, before we look at where things inevitably break down, we really need to understand the idealized version of what government accountability is supposed to look like. According to the OECD, a citizen charter is essentially a public document that lays out the basic info on the services provided, the standards you as a customer can actually expect, and exactly how to make complaints or suggestions. Think of it like a formal pact. It's a systematic effort by an organization to commit to its citizens. We're talking about maintaining service standards, offering clear choices, ensuring non-discrimination, and above all, delivering courtesy and value for your money. It's supposed to be the literal embodiment of trust between a provider and the public.
So, where did this whole idea come from? Well, let's trace it back. The concept was actually first articulated and put into practice in the UK back in 1991 by John Major's Conservative government. It kicked off as a national program with a simple but radical aim: improve service quality and actually provide value for taxpayers' money. And the idea kind of spread like wildfire globally. Over in India, for instance, the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, the DARPG, took up the mantle in the 90s and 2000s to coordinate these charters across government departments. This huge push eventually culminated in the 2011 Citizens Charter Bill, which was this ambitious attempt to legally mandate the time-bound delivery of services.
Section 2. Anatomy of a Charter.
All right, so how do you actually build one of these things? According to the Second Administrative Reforms Commission, an effective charter has to have three absolutely essential components. First, a clear vision and mission document. Like, what is this organization fundamentally trying to achieve? Second, the domain of the organization, meaning exactly what business do they transact and who specifically are their clients. And third, and I find this one really interesting, citizen responsibility. A great charter isn't just a wish list from the public. It actually outlines what's expected from the clients to make the whole thing work. It's a two-way street,
And look, the institutional backing for this concept is massive. The World Bank is a huge advocate, and they point out some major benefits. Obviously, it enhances transparency and accountability. But by doing that, it directly reduces opportunities for corruption and graft. I mean, think about it. It's a lot harder for someone to demand a bribe to speed things up when the exact processing time is quite literally posted on the wall for everyone to see. It objectively monitors service delivery. Plus, the World Bank notes it can even increase government revenue because, surprise, surprise, citizens are way more willing to pay for charged services when the delivery is actually guaranteed and efficient.
To put this into perspective, let's look at India's 2011 CC Bill, because it perfectly illustrates what comprehensive legislation tries to do here. It aimed to give these charters some serious legal teeth. It mandated the time-bound delivery of goods and services as a right. It required every public authority to publish their charter within 6 months, no more stalling. It forced agencies to name the specific person responsible for a service, clear up who is entitled to what, and even set up public grievance redressal commissions at both the central and state levels. I mean, on paper, it was a massive, game-changing promise of accountability.
Section 3. The execution gap.
But, as we all know, there is often a huge gap between a beautiful theoretical blueprint and the actual, messy reality on the ground. Why does this framework fail so often? Well, an ideal charter is realistic, it has measurable standards, it's linked to actual resources, and it's highly consultative with end users and NGOs. But the reality? It's usually a totally top-down approach. These documents get drafted once, and then they're just frozen in time. They're full of vague, unmeasurable jargon, and maybe the worst part is this uniform, one-size-fits-all mentality where a parent organization just copy-pastes the same charter for every local office, completely ignoring actual local realities.
So drilling down, why exactly does the system break down? The sources highlight a few critical failures. First off, No participative mechanisms. The actual cutting-edge staff, the people on the front lines who literally have to do the work, aren't even consulted when the charter is made. Crazy, right? Second, poor design means the critical info citizens need to hold the agency accountable is just missing. Third, there's a massive lack of public awareness. People don't even know these charters exist. Add in zero consultation with civil society, incredibly complex grievance mechanisms, and honestly, you have a perfect recipe for failure.
And this brings us to the most crucial point. Organizations show very little interest in adhering to their citizen charter because, frankly, there is no citizen-friendly mechanism to compensate you if they default. Honestly, it's the ultimate bureaucratic irony. We have this entire document designed to enforce accountability, but it completely lacks any actual teeth. If the agency misses a deadline, there's absolutely no consequence for them and zero relief for you. Without a built-in penalty or compensation mechanism, a charter is really just a nice piece of paper with good intentions.
Section 4. Fixing the system.
Okay, enough doom and gloom. We aren't just here to admire the problem. How do we actually fix this and turn these dead letters into tools that empower people? The sources give us 6 clear steps. Step 1. Decentralized formulation. One size does not fit all. Local offices need to adapt the broad guidelines. Step 2. Wide consultation. Talk to civil society. Talk to the frontline staff. Step 3. Make firm, quantifiable commitments. Step 4. Establish a redressal mechanism. There has to be laid down compensation if the organization drops the ball. Step 5. Accountability. Pin specific responsibility on specific officers. And Step 6. Periodic evaluation. And crucially, this needs to be done by an objective external agency, not just the organization grading its own homework.
To actually make these fixes a reality, reformers often look to frameworks like the Civitom model. Civitom is essentially a service delivery excellence model pulled from various best practices. Its entire goal is to make sure citizen charters are truly citizen-centric by benchmarking them directly against end-user feedback. It takes all the guesswork out of it. Instead of bureaucrats guessing what the public wants, it relies on actual data from the people using the services, ensuring the standards are grounded in reality.
There's a quote from our sources that I think just hits the nail on the head, and it perfectly sums up everything we've talked about today. It says, "A citizen's charter cannot be an end in itself. It is rather a means to an end, a tool to ensure that the citizen is always at the heart of any service delivery mechanism." That's really it, right? It's not just some box to check off on a bureaucratic to-do list. It's a living, breathing tool meant to empower you, the taxpayer, and force the focus back to where it belongs, on the public. Which leaves us with a final thought I want you to take with you. I challenge you to actually look up this citizen charter for your local municipality or an agency you deal with a lot. Give it a read. Does it guarantee time-bound service with real quantifiable standards, or is it just some vague document frozen in time from 20 years ago? Understanding how these systems are supposed to work is the very first step in demanding that they actually do. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay curious, stay focused, and I'll catch you in the next one.